God in this? How could God let this happen to me? This was one of the first questions I asked when I was first diagnosed with a bipolar condition, and it plagued me for a few years after. Now, in this video, I'll share my perspective on this question and how I currently live with it. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and bell below, and then I'll notify you every time a new video post I've posted with, talking about the lived condition of a bipolar experience. Now, I'm not a theologian, but I am an occupational therapist and a certified peer specialist successfully living with my own bipolar condition. And I found that perspectives are very powerful things that frame how we interact and process our external circumstances and internal experiences. Now, first, what I want to do is share with you some things that I have found that doesn't work. And then I'll share 4 current beliefs I have about where God fits with mental illness in this whole situation. So first of all, what doesn't work? Just trying to pray the pain away. Like if I just wish it enough, or if I just pray hard enough, it'll all go away. It'll all be magically taken care of. And that I found doesn't work because, there's things that have to be addressed. So just hoping real hard or praying real hard or wanting just to all go away because I'm thinking about it, that doesn't work. Next thing that doesn't work is trying to white knuckle my way through it. So that is where I try and grin and bear it. I just try to be stronger than it and get through it, like force myself to the other side of the situation. And that really doesn't work. Third thing is stuffing my feelings about the symptoms down and trying to bury them. That doesn't work. That doesn't help me get out of this situation at all. The fourth thing, dumping my emotions on other people. Now, there's a difference between venting and dumping. And what I find is that if I'm dumping myself on other people, it might feel better in the moment, but then there's a big mess that has to be cleaned up afterwards. And the final thing that I find that doesn't work is trying to do it all myself. Pull myself up by my bootstraps, be strong enough to handle it, and just take care of it myself. That doesn't work. I need people in my life. I need things in my life that support me in being well and that can encourage me when I'm having my times of difficulty. Now, I want to get into what are some of my current beliefs that support me in living well and successfully living with a bipolar condition and a mental illness. And the first one is that there can be purpose to my pain. And like my journey back from hospitalization when I was hospitalized for depression, that taught me the difference between thoughts, feelings, and actions, and the freedom that awareness provides. So there was a purpose that came about from that. There was something that I developed from that in uncomfortable, unpreferred experience. So I got something from that. Another thing is when I was hospitalized with hypomania and mania, and that taught me humility, because in that moment of mania, I really felt like I was on top of the world. I really felt like I had all the answers. I really felt overly confident. And having that realize that I was off, that brought me down a couple pegs, to realize that, I don't have all the answers, and that there is something that I need to deal with. So there can be purpose for those uncomfortable experiences that we don't like, that we don't want, that aren't necessarily preferred. Second belief that I have is that I'm not alone, and that God is here to help me through this situation. It's not a matter of making it all go away. It's not a matter of that God thought less of me, and so therefore I have this. It's not a punishment. It's the belief that God is there to support me through the situation, through the adversity, through the discomfort, and that it's not some abstract concept. It's not some impersonal idea or some judgmental entity. For me, it's God's an entity that loves me, that wants a personal relationship with me, and again, like I mentioned in the very beginning of this example, is to support me through the discomfort experience. And what I have found, just like I said, that there can be purpose to pain, there can be growth that comes from discomfort, there can be growth that comes from an uncomfortable situation, and I can actually learn from it. And one of my other videos, I talk about the acceptance ladder, and that is where it can go from being feeling really cursed and victim from a situation to feeling that there's things I'm able to do now that I never would have been able to do without it. And I'll have a link to the acceptance ladder video below. If this is resonating with you and this seems to be clicking, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and the bell, and that way you can get notified, like I said, of any new videos that I do. Third thing, with this whole belief about God and where God fits in with this mental illness and experience, is that I've come to realize that there's a limit to my abilities. And what I believe is that God is bigger than me, and that I can tap into that belief when I'm hitting my limits. And I trained for a mixed martial arts fight when I was younger. And I found that if there was a short-term experience or an acute situation or a short period of discomfort, I can push my way through that. I can grin and bear it for a few moments, a few extra moments, and kind of get to the other side of that short-term uncomfortable situation. But when it's chronic, when it's long-term, there's not this other side necessarily to get to. And so you have to deal with it. And this is realizing that, I'm not invincible. There's a limit to what I can do. And when I'm at that limit, there's something that I can tap into for help and support. And and for me, that's God. The fourth thing is that the belief that God provides the resources either now or coming that can support me through my situation. That can come in the forms of people, of medications, of groups. There's lots of ways that things can come to support me in what are my needs, so that I can work through the situation, and that God's supporting that and providing that. So those are my 4 beliefs about God and where God fits with mental illness, and God supports me with my own bipolar condition and my own journey. Now, if you feel that some of these ideas work on how to work with discomfort, I have a free emotional peace playbook where I challenge 4 misconceptions about mental health and introduce the 3-step process I use in managing my own bipolar condition. Like I said, there's the acceptance ladder, which is down below. There's also a couple other videos that I'm going to put links to that could be really, really helpful. One is the thoughts, feelings, and actions video, where it distinguishes the 3 and how there's 3 different pots to work with. And also, what is successfully living with a bipolar condition? Because I say that I'm successfully living with it, but what is that? Like, what does success mean? And how do I define success? And how do I identify with success? And there's a whole video on that. So they help provide perspectives on how to feel successful when living with a chronically uncomfortable condition. So there's some videos that you can check out as well. Hopefully this helps share a little bit about, where God is in all of this and a way to work with that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Have a good one.